For the most part, cops aren't out there serving and protecting. They're out there harassing, collecting, and in the case of Officer Todd Ramsey, watching Grand Theft Auto while speeding down the interstate. Earlier this year, Sarah Wood was stuck in rush hour traffic on I-85, driving just 6 miles per hour when her life would be forever changed. One moment she's idling down the interstate in traffic, and the next, more than a month later, she would wake up in the hospital having been in a coma. She was struck by a cop who was not paying attention and who was driving almost 70 miles an hour when he crashed his car into hers. He wasn't paying attention because he was distracted by a Grand Theft Auto YouTube video playing in his cruiser. And I'm not kidding. This would be the 8th at-fault accident in which Gwinnett County Police Officer Todd Ramsey would be involved. But his negligence back in April when he struck Sarah Wood would be his worst. Despite putting an innocent woman in a coma while playing a Grand Theft Auto video, Ramsey would only receive a citation for following too closely. When his fellow cops showed up to the scene, body camera video shows that they appeared to be more concerned with Ramsey than the innocent woman he nearly killed. Ramsey had no idea who he hit because he wasn't even looking where he was going. As the cops make sure their fellow officer is okay, Sarah Wood is slowly dying inside her car. Ramsey hit her so hard that personal items from her trunk ended up in his patrol car.
Her safety at risk.
Police write tickets for it, but could some of them also be part of the problem? A Grand Theft Auto video was playing in the car when a Gwinnett County officer going about 70 miles per hour crashed into an SUV. The accident nearly killed a mother. Channel 2 investigative reporter Justin Gray's been looking into why the officer was only charged with following too closely.
How you holding up, boss?
Gwinnett County Police Officer Todd Ramsey, captured here on police body cam video, said in the moments after this I-85 crash, he didn't even know who he hit.
Do you remember which car it was?
I don't know.
Sarah Wood doesn't remember much about that moment either, but it changed her life forever.
I was sitting in traffic, and then pretty much next thing I knew, I woke up in the hospital. I didn't remember anything after that.
Sarah was born deaf. We spoke to her for this story through an interpreter. This is her car. She was only going 6 miles per hour in rush hour traffic on April 1st, but Officer Ramsey was going 68 when he rear-ended her. The impact of this crash was so severe that personal items from Sarah's trunk ended up inside the police cruiser.
We don't believe there was any attempt to stop or swerve because he didn't see her because he wasn't looking.
He was looking somewhere else.
He was looking somewhere else.
So what was Ramsey looking at? We filed an open records request for the internal Gwinnett County Police investigation into the crash to find out. It shows Ramsey had multiple browser screens open on his onboard computer terminal, pulling an abnormally large amount of data. Before getting on the highway, we know Ramsey was sitting and watching a Grand Theft Auto video. And we know that that video was still playing at the time of the crash. Ramsey told investigators he had a problem with his eye or contact.
And that terminal in the vehicle, certainly not intended for watching Grand Theft Auto videos.
Absolutely not.
Sarah Wood was in a coma for 4 weeks after the accident. And because of the traumatic brain injury, she can no longer work. And her hearing aids now cause her pain. The only citation for Officer Ramsey, following too close.
Do you think this would have been handled differently if he wasn't a police officer?
Well, absolutely.
We wanted to ask Gwinnett County Police why Ramsey didn't face any other charges, but they won't talk to us. So we filed an open records request for his disciplinary records and found this wasn't the first, the second, or even the third at-fault accident Ramsey has been involved in. There have been 8 of them.
This wasn't an accident. This was a serious collision that could have and should have been avoided.
In September, Ramsey was demoted and, quote, prohibited from driving or operating a Gwinnett County vehicle for any reason. Sarah Wood doesn't think that's enough. Her medical bills are more than $500,000 and growing, and her attorney is currently in settlement talks with the county. But Sarah's worried that other officers could also be distracted behind the wheel.
You know, I don't want anybody else to get hurt.
Officer Ramsey appeared to be dipping and was not wearing his seatbelt. Both are against department policy. Gwinnett Police would not say what policies are in place to monitor use of their onboard computers or explain why they didn't turn over this investigation to Georgia State Patrol, who was there on scene.
Anybody with half a brain knows that Ramsey should have never been behind the wheel of a car, let alone watching Grand Theft Auto while he was driving. How he was allowed to keep his driver's license, much less a police-issued vehicle after crashing it 7 times before, is some messed up crap. After putting an innocent woman in a coma, nothing would happen to Ramsey other than the ticket. It would take 6 months for the department to demote this negligent officer from master police officer to police officer senior. And that's likely due to the fact that they're going to have to pay out a massive settlement for this reckless cop's affinity for watching Grand Theft Auto videos while speeding down the interstate. He was permanently assigned to a teleservice unit and, quote, prohibited from driving or operating a Gwinnett County vehicle for any reason. This is the Gwinnett County Police Department Central Precinct Google review page. Currently, it's rated at a 1.9 out of 5 stars and has 67 reviews. I'll leave their information in the description and in the pinned comment for you if you want to cordially reach out to them and tell them what you think about them keeping public safety risk Officer Todd Ramsey on the force. Guys, please like and share this video with everybody you know, and leave your thoughts about this for the world, the Google Thought Police, and the Gwinnett County Police Department in the comments section below. And I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.